Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to talk about and review Batman. Yes, Batman is a film that came out in 1989. It was directed by Tim Burton, and the plot is we see Batman pretty much in the beginning of his career. He's making his presence known in Gotham, taking out criminals left and right. Jack Napier was a criminal that he was trying to take down, but he accidentally dropped him into this vat of chemicals, and out came the Joker. Now the Joker is wreaking havoc. The Joker is terrorizing Gotham, doing all these crazy things, and Batman is desperate. He's doing everything he can to stop him. Now, what I think of Batman 1989 is I love this movie. Obviously, did you expect me to really say anything else? But I will admit that as far as my history with this movie, I watched this movie as a kid. I did. But it wasn't until I was maybe in my early teens when I rewatched the film, and that's when I grew to appreciate it more. That's when I said, oh, this is actually a really good movie. When you see the opening credits, when you see just that their slow reveal that we're seeing the bat symbol and you hear Danny Elfman's score, it's amazing. It's kind of the best way to start a Batman film. That score, it's what I think of. That theme song, it's what I think of when I think of Batman, through all the incarnations of him, all the different theme songs and all the different types of Batmans that we've had. This is the definitive Batman theme. Some people might get on Tim Burton as a director in general and how out there he is and weird he is, especially nowadays. But especially for a Burton movie, this Batman film is straightforward. It looks like a normal place. It looks like Gotham. Michael Keaton as Batman / Bruce Wayne. Michael Keaton at the time was a crazy pick. He was a pick that made people go nuts. And I know they still do that nowadays. Somebody gets picked for a superhero movie and everybody loses their minds. But Michael Keaton was predominantly known for comedy movies. So maybe, who knows, if I was of age at the time when they were casting this film, maybe I would have been one of the people to complain and to say this is going to suck or it's not going to work. But man, did Michael Keaton deliver. He did. I love his Batman. I love his Bruce Wayne. Is he my favorite Batman of all time? I guess I can't say that, only because I feel like most actors that have played Batman since him, they've been able to build off of that. They've been able to grow the Bruce Wayne character, the Batman character, from what he did. But he did give us our first dark Batman. So I see why people still think he's the best Batman, why people say he's their best Batman. The opening scene with him going after those two thugs who robbed the family, and just that introduction. I'm Batman. That set the tone. It set the stage of what you want your Batman to be. So the Batman suit in general, that's what helps make Michael Keaton intimidating. He might not be the biggest guy. He might not be the most imposing guy when you see just Keaton in general. But him in that Batman suit, you buy it. Also, the way that he plays Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, he's very dark. He's very closed off. He distances himself from people. He almost doesn't know how to act around people in social situations. I do like that. And the one scene, the most infamous scene almost, especially with Michael Keaton in this movie, my friends and I still quote it. As quotable as this movie is, as much memorable lines that are in this movie, especially from the Joker, the scene where Michael Keaton... That is like, it's awesome. It's hilarious. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. But we have to talk about the guy, right? What do you think of when you think of Batman 89? You think of Jack Nicholson. You think of him as the Joker. Now, I've stated on record that I don't like when the comics or the movies tell Joker's origin. Joker is more interesting as a character who he just comes out of nowhere. You don't know what happened to him or how he got this crazy or got this way. But this is like, this movie did it. And when you think of what would be the Joker's origin or what could be his origin, this pretty much is the way to go. You have him, Jack Napier, as this gangster, this thug who Sure, he's sleeping with the boss's girlfriend, but besides that, he's just this guy who has all this pull in the city. Batman has Napier's hanging off and falls into the vat of chemicals. First of all, I do kind of like that it's indirectly Batman's fault, right? It creates immediately a vendetta that Joker will have against Batman, and maybe even some guilt that Batman will have in creating this psychopath. So every crazy thing, every person he kills from this point on, Batman can have some guilt over that. The slow reveal of his face, like the scene with him and the surgeon, and how you don't see him. Lights are off when he goes to kill his boss and comes out of the shadows, and that's when you see the white face paint. Like, I love that.
I'm glad you did.
His plan, the Joker's plan, his whole plot for this movie, you could say doesn't make any sense. He's poisoning all of these chemicals and cosmetics, and when people use them and mix them, it turns them crazy and it kills them, and they die with a permanent smile on their face. That's disturbing. But that's also the Joker. Nothing he really does makes sense. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be. He doesn't have an end goal. He doesn't have really a cause that he's working for. Also, he has a girlfriend. Joker, before Harley Quinn, he had a girlfriend in this movie, and he considers himself an artist. He even, like, mangles her face, and you see her wearing a mask, and it's again, there's elements of this Joker that's funny, that's fun to watch. He's magnetic to watch. You just want to see Nicholson go all out, and this is like the goofiest I think I've ever seen him. Now, Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. Some people crap on Kim Basinger in this movie. They think she's a horrible actress or that the character is pointless. But if you think about it, Vicky Vale has a lot of scenes in this movie. She's what brings us to Bruce Wayne's origin, Batman's origin. It's through her that we find out about Bruce Wayne's parents. She's a photographer and she wants to do a story on Batman, and she starts to date Bruce Wayne. And even though when I think of Bruce Wayne and a possible soulmate, or I think of Selena Kyle, right? But second is Vicky Vale. I do always like the idea of Bruce Wayne. If not Catwoman, well, Vicky Vale is a good close second. Michael Goff as Alfred. For the most part, I like him as Alfred just in general. He looks the part. I like the scenes that he has. He does have good moments with Bruce Wayne. Besides the fact that after Bruce sleeps with Vicky Vale the first time, and Vicky's leaving. Now, Bruce told her, oh, we're going to be leaving. Basically, I'm too busy to hang out with you or talk to you right now. And she says to Alfred, oh, well, I'll see you when you get back. And he says, what? Get back? We're going to be here for a long time. What? You're trying to tell me, Alfred, that you don't quickly understand what Bruce Wayne probably said to her, and you don't just go with it? You're going to tell her the truth that easily? Strike one. But the biggest sin that Alfred commits is, and everybody talks about this, when he lets Vicky Vale into the Batcave, reveal Batman's secret to this woman, why don't you? And I know throughout the movie he has moments, he takes digs at Bruce and he says, hey, I like this Vicky Vale woman for you. You should give her a chance. You should tell her the truth. And there's even a moment where Bruce Wayne almost does tell her the truth. So look, I'm not saying Alfred doesn't have the best intentions. I like the idea that Alfred wants him to meet somebody and sort of maybe try to have a normal life. It makes sense, but it's just, this is too careless. That was not his decision to make. It drives me crazy every time I watch it when he just brings her into the Batcave. Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon, like this version of Gordon, he gets worse in the sequels as far as incompetence and as far as just being lazy and not really doing anything for Gotham. But this movie, like, he's here just to be here. He doesn't really do a whole lot. He's kind of just here as like, hey, here's the police presence. Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent. I really like this casting. Some people might be saying, a black Harvey Dent? What? Well, it's just, hey, why not? And just the idea, the prospect of maybe they were thinking about using him to be Two-Face in a sequel, I would have loved to have seen that. That, I think, would have been awesome. And Robert Wuhl as Alexander Knox. You almost forget about this character, right? Alexander Knox. But he's the comic relief of the movie. He has a good amount of scenes, especially with Vicky Vale trying to find out more about Batman or trying to find out a little bit more about Bruce Wayne. And he's almost the audience as their view into this comic book world and movie. And I do like him. I do. The Prince songs. You can't not talk about Prince when you watch this movie. Think about the soundtrack. The soundtrack's actually pretty good. Maybe when you listen to the songs, some of the songs on their own, you don't think Batman. This sounds too weird to at least be in the 1989 Batman. But I thought they did a good job of picking certain songs and placing them mostly with the Joker scenes. Like Party Man. Completely works for when the Joker storms into the museum right before he talks to Vicky Vale and he's defacing all of the paintings and statues. Like, it's funny, it's goofy, it works. Also, Trust. That song I actually really do like. And seeing Joker at the parade and he's handing out money. Let's talk about some key things about this film. Like Batman killing. Batman, it does kill in this movie. And I've stated also that I hate the idea of a Batman that kills. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't work for me. You could argue that the scene in the Batmobile, when he goes in the factory and blows it up, that he wasn't in the Batmobile. He was driving it like remotely away. So maybe he didn't know that there were people in there. Well, there's several scenes of him in the bat plane, which is an awesome moment, by the way, at the end of the movie where he flies in to take the balloons. But he has guns on the bat plane, and he shoots at a bunch of Joker's guards. It seems like he's trying to directly shoot at the Joker and misses. Does it bother me? Rewatching it now, going back, it is what it is. It doesn't drive me crazy now, probably because it is so far removed. The reveal that the Joker in this version, in this universe, the Joker killed Batman's parents. Bruce Wayne has a flashback of, and you see when his parents get killed outside of the theater, and it's a cool moment just whenever you see Batman's origin, especially like the first movie to do it. It's very cool, the pearls dropping, but I don't love Joker being the one to kill his parents. I don't. It doesn't really... I get it. They're supposed to, like, you made me, I made you. They're supposed to set up how close these two characters are, the yin and the yang, and they both affect each other a lot in their lives and their origins. I get why this was written. But when I think of Batman and the killing of his parents and who did it, it could have been anybody. But it should not be the Joker. So now let me lastly talk about the end. The end of the movie where Joker dies. Do you ever really want to see the Joker die in a movie? I think at the time it must have just been like, hey, a superhero movie. We don't know how many of these we're going to do. We're probably going to use different villains every movie. So let's just kill him off at the end. It was the standard thing to do. Even though the scene of him on the concrete, splattered, and then still laughing. And it looks like he's not dead. Gordon goes over him and then they find the laughing toy from his pocket. Like, I love that moment. I do. If Joker's gonna die, that's probably how he would go. Clearly, I enjoy this film. I do. I love this movie. I know some people might say that it doesn't hold up, or maybe there's not as much action, or this and that, but for me, it does hold up. For me, I still can sit back and watch it. I watch it at least once or twice a year, and I can quote all the lines. I just have a smile on my face during certain scenes, certain moments that really just make me nostalgic about why I fell in love with the Batman character in the first place. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Batman 89? Do you love it as much as I do, or do you just think it's okay? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!